To have a good eye means that you look at others generously, with goodwill. You want them to do well. You want them to succeed. You're happy for them. There are many benefits from having a good eye. Firstly, you're happy. Even if you're not doing so well yourself, you see other people are doing well. And that's what you want. You want other people to do well. So you're happy for them. So it creates a sense of happiness. Having a good eye means you're a happy person. Also, your enemies are no longer your enemies. Your competitors are no longer your opponents. You still compete with them. You still try to do as best as you can. But you don't look at them with hatred, with enmity. And even strangers, you're no longer indifferent to their plight because you also want them to do well. Moreover, and this is a wonderful thing if you can do it, if your good eye is strong enough to actually do this, and this is that when somebody insults you, you're able to say to them, "You are my teacher. Thank you very much." And even if you don't actually say that to them, you can think it in your heart. You think to yourself, "You are my teacher. Thank you very much." You're pleased with their insights. And the wonderful reward that comes from having such an attitude is that we know that the way the world works is according to what's known as measure for measure. What you give out is what you receive in return. So when you look at others with a good eye, they look at you with a good eye. And they want you to succeed. And they don't want to stand in your way. They want you to do well. And you will have their support, their friendship. You'll even be protected. There's a certain shield of protection. That just as you want well for others, the worlds around you, the upper worlds, also want you to do well. In the weekly Parsha, we learn about Balak. Balak was an interesting individual. He was a descendant of Yisro, who was Moshe Rabbeinu's father-in-law. And Yisro's entire family all converted to Judaism. They all converted with one exception. That exception was Balak. Balak refused to convert. And in fact, he became an enemy of the Jews. And when we start the reading of the weekly Parsha, we see it starts with the word, "And Balak saw." What did he see? He saw the Jewish people. He saw them flourishing. He saw them growing. He saw them powerful and organized. Great people who had had military successes and were ready to enter the land of Israel and do very well there. And this stirred a sense of resentment, a sense of jealousy, and even fear. He had a fear of them. And therefore he did everything in his power to try and destroy them. Everything he could do. He went to terrible extremes. And one of the things he did was he hired another man who hated the Jews even more than he did. He hired Bilam. And Bilam is the epitome of the evil eye. The evil eye is that when you look at others, you want them to fail. You want them to be destroyed. You want them to die. This was the man that he joined up with. But the problem is that when you subscribe to the evil eye, so what happens is it destroys you in the process. Both of them, and those who had joined them were both destroyed and killed, and that was their bitter end. And so the only question that remains is to what degree are we prepared to adopt for ourselves? To what degree are we prepared to conduct our lives and arrange our thoughts to have a good eye, a generous eye, a loving eye, to look at others with a good eye and enjoy the happiness and success that does come in the wake of such an approach to life.